mode.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Admiral Market session recap of 10th of February 2014. Today we are going to talk about Euro, Dollar, Cable, Aussie, Euro, Yen, and Dollar, CAD. We will see first which were the setups for last week. And for all of you who are new, I will explain how those setups do, how you can trade it, and so on. But before we begin with the actual webinar, I need to tell you about this disclaimer saying that online educational materials are developed by Admiral Markets AS Estonia for a global audience. Therefore, please take into consideration that information in this session may not be suitable for everyone. To get a corresponding information on charting conditions and any other detail, please visit www.admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity. Also, there is disclosure statement saying of the possible risk associated with Forex market, and by accepting the risk, you are accepting also to proceed further with me. Admiral Markets UK Ltd takes no responsibility for the information accuracy. The analysis represents the personal opinion of the author, it's me, and in no way it represents the actual suggestion for the trade. These are not AM UK's opinions, and the website in the video is not co-UK website, but a globally used com website. Forex is the risky business, and this should be not taken as advice. It's personal opinion. This webinar is for informational and educational purposes only. So saying this, I'm free to go. Okay, market plan. Let's see what happened last week. First, I will be quick with this because we may have a very soon setup with dollar CAD. Let's see what happened last week. It was euro dollar. My position was sell around 35.50.70. For all those who are new for this session recap webinars, position where it says position, it means that that is the objective position which I would like to kick in first. Alternative is the alternative scenario for a trade. Usually this is the primary, this is the secondary, but whichever comes first. So if alternative comes before position, then we use, of course, and I use personally, alternative scenario, okay? It depends what kicks in first. So if this doesn't happen because the price is closing for this scenario, then if this happens first, we take this one. So as I say, I will show you what happened also last week. Euro dollar, it was euro dollar. This was the time of our webinar, and basically what happened, the first trade got in here, 35.50. I was saying sell. So you basically, now I don't know what you did, sorry, but basically this was very strong one at the first attempt, because you look, sell around 35.50 to 70. Where the price was here, look at the peak of this price. Where was the price? You read the price, let's see. High was 35.55, and of course you trade the price, guys. When you trade the price, you don't wait for the candle to close. When you trade price, you actually want to hit and trade the price, not the candle, right? So if this was the setup, so we need the price to come anywhere between here, and we saw on this chart that the price was hit here, and afterwards it was a good sell. Well, not exactly as we planned maybe, but it was good for initially 40 pips and finally 60 pips. Well, I cannot say it wasn't good. I took some on trailing, I was stopped out on trailing stop. I took some 25 pips, but it doesn't matter. Still, it's very good. The target was 34.30, but it was very close, not very close to the target, but considering what were the news for last week, we did a hell of a job here, really. So basically that happened here, and the sell was there executing for 42 to 60 points. It depends. As I say, I took a little less because I always trail the stop, so I was trailing the stop, and I got out a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure that you managed to get even more. Market plan on cable, as you know, this was the setup which was happening while I was talking at the last webinar. And basically what was, it was good for 12 points. As I said, it was buy around this level for a scalp trade, and while I was talking with you, the trade executed somewhere around there. It was good for some 12 points because I was trying to manage you the trade, saying use trailing stop after 10 pips, and it was some 13, 14 pips. Then we moved our stop loss to 12 pips, and basically we got stopped out for 12 pips of that scalp trade. But still, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was a good trade. Now, well, usually, as I say, these setups are valid for today, tomorrow, and possibly the day after tomorrow. This sell around 64, I cannot say it was qualified, although it was good if you pay attention to this, because this is where the price was at this point. So it was actually 64.00, and it was good for 23 pips, but the trade wasn't qualified just because it was at the 7th of February, and we also had this trade kicking in first. So even though this trade could have been good for some number of pips, I cannot say it was qualified because prior to this that possible trade, this trade kicked in, and this was a little bit late. It was on the 7th of February. Where we were with Aussie. Aussie was sell around 88, stop 20 pips. Let's see what Aussie gave us. This was the time of our webinar. Let's see, it was 7 o'clock. So basically, buy around 80. I was telling you, don't trade it if you don't have to, just because there were strong news that evening. After the webinar, we really got very strong news. And to be honest, I didn't trade this, but look at this. It almost came to this point where we should have bought it. It was 87.30. The plan was at 87.00. But nonetheless, it was the time of big news, and the price went in violently. So, well, I cannot say that the trade was executed perfectly because it didn't hit 87. But also, I told you don't trade prior to news. So basically, I hope that you didn't enter on the leaving candle because the news was very, very strong. I never do that. If you know my style of trading, I never do that. I always wait for the news to kick in or to give me a retracement. This could have been great retracement just prior to news. But, well, what happened? Basically, the price went in strongly to the upside. Now we will have a buy trade possible on Aussie. We will see. Then Euro Yen, sell around 13.75 or 137.50 to 137.60. Where it was, basically, this was Euro Yen. This was the time of our webinar. And let's see what we did. Only sell. I didn't have alternative scenario because I was looking only to sell it. And this was the place where we could sell it to the pip. I told you to pay attention on Euro Yen. I hope that you have paid attention. Here was the trade. It was 2 days ago. Well, of course, yen pair. 1 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock GMT. So the trade kicked in here. You see, the trade kicked in here. 137.52, 53. And look at this. 100 pips to the downside. From this point to this point, 100 pips. I would like also to manage a trade for you next day, and I would like to, I also wanted to put a slide telling you, for all of those who traded this setup, use your trailing stop now and then, but I wasn't allowed to, because if I did that, maybe I would violate, you know, agreement, because I'm not, I cannot give you direct advices. You know what I'm talking about. I cannot give you direct advices. So I couldn't tell you, okay guys, this was the trade perfectly for, it's good 60, 70 pips now, use your trailing stop, whatever. But then you know what I mean. These are session recaps. We are looking for a possible buy and sell setups. So of course you can always count that I also trade those setups if I post it, okay? So basically, look at this trade. Perfect, plain perfect trade. Much better than New Zealand dollar, which I hope to be the trade of the week. This was the trade of the week. This was the trade of the week. Look at this perfect sell, 100 pips sell. And well, what I can say, I didn't hope that this would be the trade of the week. Really, I was thinking, well, New Zealand dollar, this could have been the trade of the week. But well, you see, this was the time of our webinar, and while we were talking, the price went down. The price went down. But you know, it's hard to get in while we are having the webinar, and we had multiple rejections of this level. So basically the next jump, because this level provided a great resistance then, and it gave us perfect sell. Also here, look at there. After the webinar, it came to the price, but it was good only for some 22 pips. So basically this was a possible, well, it happens because you see these levels were strongly rejected. Look at the first rejection from there. Look at those candles, look at this candle rejection. So basically usually after 4 or 5 attempts the price will reverse to the upside. So this trade got 22 pips. So well, I couldn't say this was, of course this wasn't the trade of the week. It's, well, an average trade for 20 pips or 10 pips if you use trailing stop. But this was the perfect trade because it gave 100 pip total. Okay, it doesn't matter even if you got 30 pips out of that 100 pips possible. It's still good because sometimes when I trade, I also make targets somewhere, let's say far, 100 pips or something. But sometimes and very often in these market conditions, it happens that I'm stopped out for 50, 20, 25 pips instead of 100 because trailing stop, and you know, you need to secure the profits. And sometimes your trailing stop will stop you, but nevertheless, it will give you the profit. So for on these session recaps, we don't do trade management. I give you possible trades, give you possible setups, but it's up to you how you will manage it, whether you will go for full price projection or for a possible trailing stop. These are the setups for this week. I will start with dollar CAD. I will start with dollar CAD because for me that looks most interesting. Look at this. What does it tell you? This is, guys, head and shoulders variant. Look at this head and shoulders variant. We also see a neckline, trend line broken. This is left, this is head, this is right shoulder. This is neckline, a sort of neckline which has a rising trend line. It was broken out, it was retested. So my plan is to sell. Well, we are also now in the selling region, if you ask me. This is also selling region from anywhere from here to there. So it's up to you, but look at this. This is possible trade going on while we are talking. Sell 1.1045. This is the level which we have now. So if you want to sell, this is the time for sell anywhere from this to this point. Of course, because stop loss is 45 pips. If you are selling now, you need to use a proper risk management, proper leverage. Don't be over leveraged. We should, if this happens to be a good trade, we should have it here because the trend line got broken. This red level also got broken. So at retest of this level, this should have been the target. 1.0930. 1.0930. Okay, 1.0930 should be, and this could be very good trade. It's qualified now because we are very close to this level, and possible sell setup will happen very soon, or it might be happening while we talk. Okay, dollar CAD first. What can I say about euro dollar? What can I say, guys? This is bad day for dollar, bad day for all currencies. They don't move. They are sitting all day long in that range. Well, I cannot say that now is the perfect time, because if we want to sell, we want to sell it higher. So I would like to sell around 36.85. I would put stops around 37, targeting 36.40. That is what I see on euro dollar. Why? It's plain simple why. It's because I see a strong confluence there. Around those levels I see a strong confluence. So this is 78.6 at 100 of the last swing. Also, if you take a look at 4-hour time frame, what does this tell you? Double top here, so probably look at these peaks. Probably it's being protected at the moment. So at the very first, you need to exploit the first touch of this level, because usually the first touch will be the strongest one, considering possible rejections of that level. So if the price goes here, I would like if the price goes there, I would like to sell, of course. I cannot say now buy it because it's too high. So for buy we need a pullback. So probable levels for buy setups are 35.85 to 75. So probable buy levels are there, 35.85 to 75. As always, the price is in big range now, and if you go for it, the best thing is to use trailing stop. Well, that is how the things go. One of our future webinars, I will also explain how I suggest for you to use the stop loss, trailing stop, sorry. What about GBP dollar? GBP dollar is, for me, it looks like it's in correctional uptrend. Correctional uptrend. What does it mean? It means that it should be rejected soon, because it's a correctional uptrend. Look at this fall. So it fell down pretty heavily. Look at the first swing, the second swing, and now after swings, look at this. So look how it goes perfectly to the possible level. So I would like to sell it first if it gives me the trade. I would like to sell around 64.65, targeting 63.50 and 63. So look at this. Why I'm targeting this level. We could also have a sell here if it comes. So also pay attention to this level, 64.45, 64.45, and I will write it down. Pay attention to 64.45. Why? Because it's a trend line. Look at this. This trend line trusts this red level. Sorry. And if the price gets here, look, this is strong level. Look, one peak, second, third, and possible this will be also. I reckon that this might also be rejected from there. So pay attention to this level and this level here, because it's in the confluence of 78.6 of the last swing and 50 point of the major swing. So 50 fib retracement and 78.6 along with this trend line are giving us enough confluence to take a short trade here, okay? To take a short trade there. So basically what I'm implying, pay attention to this level and this level. There should be sell trades there. And if it drops around 63.50, I would look to buy it, stops around this level, targeting again 64.65. So if it happens to drop here, confluence zone 38.2, 23.6, red level there, also rejection from here. History repeats usually, so if it happens there to get around there, we could possibly see a nice buy trade. But it's more, it looks to me that this can happen first, sell from there or there. So basically those are things you should be paying attention to. Aussie now is in uptrend. I would like to buy it around 89.30, stops around 88.70, 88.30. Where do we see 88.30 and 89.30? Sorry, this is the price where we should buy. Maybe some of you already bought it here, but look, this trend line intersects this level here, and this looks like a possible buy pattern. This looks to me like a possible buy pattern from that level. So 89.30 stops there, targeting 90.05. If it happens to get here first, we could sell it at the first attempt, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections of that zone, 89.80, and I reckon that the price might be rejected at the first attempt to go there. It might be rejected there. So the price is in buying zone. It's very close to buying zone there, and if it happens to push directly and we don't take the trade, possible the trade entry would kick in around there. Okay, so Aussie now is a buy mode, and of course you want to sell it higher, but you need to see in history how you do those magnetic price scalping. You need to watch the history. History repeats itself. So if the price was sold there, your odds is that the price would probably be sold again around this level, at least at the first attempt. So why would the price be stopped from selling one additional time? Of course, I don't count the big news on Aussie, but on normal price action, it should be sold there. Also, if it gets there around this level, we could probably buy it. As we can see, there is a trend line and there is a red line trust. So basically this is the confluence zone. And this is the lowest low of the last push to the upside, so stops should be just a little bit below this red level. Okay, Euro Yen, what I see on Euro Yen, I see buy around 13.85 or 138.50, stop loss 138.00, targeting 140.05. Why do I see buy trade on Euro Yen? Well, the picture speaks for itself. But now it could have been also buy from there, but look at this. But it's not too deep retracement for me. If the price wants to go to the upside, usually we need a bigger retracement. So I would like to see it from somewhere around there, because I have a confluence of 138.50, that is a confluence of 38.2 and 78.6. Also, this is a good level, 139, because it has a confluence of 50 and 23.6. So pay attention also to 139. I will write it down, but also pay attention to 139.00 level, because there is a confluence there. There is a strong confluence here. There is a strong confluence there. I like to see a bigger pullback. But if it don't happen, maybe possible long trades can be looked out for also around this level. And alternative scenario is sell around 140.05, 15p trailing stop. Why? Because it's a red level, and those red levels are magnetic historical prices and usually are rejected at the first attempt. Okay, so pay attention to those levels on Euro Yen. Now I will give you a quick summary of possible setups. Memorize it, write it down, and use it to your advantage. I hope that you will make good pips with those setups. So this is sell trade, possible euro dollar. I don't like the price action at the moment. It basically what I can say at the moment. Let me go like this. At the moment, the price is in the no man's land. No man's land. It's in the middle. So we want to sell it higher and we want to buy it lower. Okay. Now it's stuck. I don't like it. GBP dollar. This is the setup for GBP dollar. So try to use some of those setups to your advantage. They are valid for today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and be patient. Put an alarm if the price gets around those levels, and watch the price action. This is Aussie. Now we have an uptrend. It's very close to buy zone. Very, very close. Also, Euro Yen. We need a pullback to buy, and we need a higher price action to sell. And dollar CAD, this is possible setup going on now at the moment. This is what I see. Trend line break, sort of neckline on head and shoulders variant, left head right, and look at this. Price was already tested this trend line neckline, and it should, if technically it might go down from here now. But if it happens, now is the time. If you want to trade this pattern, this is the time when you can trade it here or up to there, and that is the setup which is currently going on while we talk on dollar CAD. Okay, guys, if you, well, pending orders, I cannot say. I have a question. Better with alarm form price. It's better to watch the price just because of that news. If news kick in, sometimes it might hit your stop loss at the very first push after the news. So it's always best. Let's say that you want to trade this pattern and this setup. So what can happen? Let's say you want to trade it now, and sometimes the price may go not in your favor because of the news. And then if the price comes a little bit slower to the possible entry, and you can see that it cannot push higher, then you know that it's possible good time to sell. So I would always go for alarm for price. Sometimes you can go with pending orders, but we need to always check your calendar then for the news. I personally go for market order, not for pending order. If I spot the price, I go for market order. And I have the alarms, yeah. Okay, guys, so those are the setups. Quick go through again. Euro dollar, cable, Aussie, Euro yen, and dollar CAD. Also, after the webinar, there will be possible, how can I say, that is, you will answer some questions. So please write down what pairs you want me to analyze, because I will always analyze Euro, cable, and Aussie. And two additional pairs for this week are Euro yen, dollar CAD. Also for last week it was dollar, New Zealand dollar. So if you want other pairs also, it doesn't matter. We can go with Aussie Swissy or CAD, Japanese yen. Whatever pairs you would want me to analyze, I can analyze all 23 pairs. So just write it down. You can comment dollar Swissy. Dollar, I don't trade exotic pairs. Sorry. Those, basically, the pairs which I recommend are here. Anywhere from euro dollar to these guys pair. These I don't like to trade. Look at the spread here. Why would I trade something which has more than 4 or 5 point spread? Really, to be honest, guys, look at these things. We have many pairs. Why would we trade this kind of things with those spreads? I just don't like it, and I never trade it. I personally don't like also GBP New Zealand because there is too much of a spread there. So, you know. Okay, now guys, let me see. Let me pause the screen and let me open it now. What I can comment on dollar Swissy. Dollar Swissy. Well, what I can say, it looks like a retracement also to me. And if you can see the trend line there. So Aussie Swissy. Okay, for next week we should go with dollar yen, euro Aussie. Yeah, okay, I will write it down. Don't worry, Daniela, don't worry. Euro, Australian dollar. Yeah, don't worry, I will do that. Euro, Australian dollar, and yeah, GBPN. Look at GBPN, guys. GBPN, I had a perfect trade with GBP, and I was writing it down on Forex Factory and also on Admiral Markets blog. You see GBP. There was also analysis here, GBP. Let me open it. It looks like we have some slow internet here now, but nevertheless it will open. If you remember this setup, the price got here to this level and then shoot it up. And I was managing and writing it down also. I was writing on Forex Factory and on Facebook page of Admiral Markets. And you could see after the setup, the price went here and it was rejected to the upside. So this trade was perfect one. Was perfect one, if you ask me, really. You see the price went there and then jumped up. It was cable N. Always, yeah, beautiful trade. And Rashid, always pay attention to Spiders then Forex Factory. You will see also my discussion with other traders and so on. And always pay attention to Admiral Markets blog, because there I post during the day. Before London and New York session, I also post setups. So pay attention to my blog, because you don't know when I will post it. I also try to go on Twitter also there. I wasn't so active on Twitter. I am active last few months on Twitter, but I also use Twitter now. So basically, this is what you should pay attention to. This blog, Forex Factory, also worldwide investor forums for all of you who are visiting worldwide investment. But it's basically copy paste from here. But sometimes it's good also to visit their forum and Admiral Markets Facebook page. And I will always say, okay, guys, this is the time for you who are positive. Put your stop loss to break even, or I will try to give some advice. Dollar CAD is the dollar CAD in buy trend. What is itself? It looks to me, this is, as I say, my opinion, it will go down. It will go down if you ask me. Why? Because of this. Because of this. Trend line, neckline break, head and shoulders variant, and look at this price rejection. This could be breakout, pullback, retest, continuation trade. To the downside, to the downside. This doesn't look bullish to me. I don't use fib expansion for targets, Igor. I don't use fib expansion. I use red levels, pivot points, and previous highs and lows. So when I see the confluence, I put the confluence levels there. So I don't use fib expansion for targets. Is dollar Swissy head and shoulders pattern on daily? Let me see dollar Swissy. Let me check dollar Swissy daily time frame. It might look, but no, this is M. Look at this. This is M pattern, but it's playing out. M pattern is playing out. Look at this, M, and at this point the price went down. So basically, this is not head and shoulders, because it's M. If there wasn't this drop, if it were just around there we can say this is head and shoulders. But look at this. Basically, this should have been a neckline if this wasn't M pattern, and this spike of the price, well, I don't like it. On intraday time frame, you have a possible buy from there, but it's in downtrend generally. If you watch 4-hour time frame, it looks, and it is a downtrend. Look at swings, but it's being pushed to the upside of this level. So pay attention to this trend line on Aussie Swissy. Pay attention. Yeah, this is US dollar Swissy. Pay attention. Don't go in a trade that isn't qualified. Okay. This looks like a railway pattern, but look at this. We have a congestion here. We have a big congestion zone there. So this should have been a breakout of the triangle trade. If you trade breakouts of the triangle, watch for breakout there, a retest, and continuation or there, breakout, pullback, continuation. So now it looks like it is rejected from this level, but it has been rejected a couple of times lately, so this attempt, it can go down, but if it goes down, wait for a retest, then you can enter at the breakout retest, okay? So that is dollar Swissie. Okay guys, if you don't have any questions, tomorrow I will be doing other analysis. Maybe there will be other pairs which I will analyze, because if I don't see a pattern on these pairs, I would, of course we have patterns there on session recap. We can trade these patterns, but I may also come up with other pairs tomorrow. So pay attention to blog and Forex Factory. On GBP dollar, on weekly chart, guys, weekly chart. Yeah, but weekly chart is, sometimes if you trade weekly, it can take months. Why would you wait for months for your trade to go to kick in? Let's see what you see on cable. It's too congested to me on weekly. Now I need to remove on those fibs, everything. But let's see, let's remove this red line. Let me pause the screen, sorry. I will do that in a second. I will remove fib. Okay, now you can see it clearly. What do you see here? A pin. It looks like strong buying, but look at the range of this. It's 167.8 pips. It looks like a resume buy if you go for candlestick perspective, but this is weekly time frame, so it doesn't mean that it will go in that direction on next few days. If you watch this setup, sell around this level 64.65, but the price isn't there yet. And for me, I would look to sell it there if it comes there. It looks, but you see the confluence. The confluence is also strong on 64.45. I told you also to pay attention to this level. But if you trade weekly, then you need to be, prepared for many ups and downs. Because if you trade only a single candle on the weekly, it will take a week, and in the week you can have ups and downs on 1 hour time frame. So if you see this, there are two possible setups that fall on weekly. Sell around that level, buy around that level. So whichever kicks in first, I will trade it. But still, I cannot see because I never trade weekly time frame. I also don't use it for direction of my trades, because as I say, in this weekly candle there are many ups and downs. Okay, and if you trade weekly solely, then you need to be very, very careful, because the range is big and targets are, sometimes you need to wait for months. Okay, if you have any questions now, you can ask me. As I say, here the blog, visit the blog. On 1 hour you enter trades, and on 4 hour daily for an analyze. Yes, on 1 hour I usually enter trades, and I usually use 4 hours, 4 hour time frame for analysis. Sometimes I use daily, but most of the time, because you know that I'm intraday trader, I use 4 hour analysis. But sometimes if I spot a good opportunity on 1 hour, I can solely trade 1 hour. Okay, and all support resistance are from 4 hour daily. They are mostly from daily, because you need to have a daily support and resistance levels, and those support and resistance levels are historically written on the chart. Those are historical price action. Okay, you're welcome, Jon. So setups for this day, upcoming day. And of course, try to sign up for education, because we will have many interesting webinars coming in. You might be particularly interested in price action trading. I will present more advanced system. Last month, I presented basic price action system. In this webinar, I will give you more advanced, and next webinar, price action trading, will be a little bit complex price action system. So you will also learn price action by those systems trading. I will give you price action advanced strategies. When you will do webinar on Serbian, Philip, I think very soon we will start with those webinars on Serbo-Croatian language. I think very soon. If I'm using Murray Math lines, I'm looking at 1 hour charts for entry, other lines already based on daily trends. Murray Math has a different perspective for those calculations. Murray Math uses a completely other and different methods. Please, what was the name? Let me see. Mutnuru. Go at our last webinar concerning Murray Math. It should be video archive. You see Murray Math, and please listen to all of those Murray Maths me and Chris did at the 6th of February. So you will see what are those lines on Murray Math. Just listen to this webinar. It will be explained to you. Everything is explained concerning Murray Math. Not everything, because it's very, very complex, but the main things and the most important things are explained on Murray Math. If you are particularly interested to trade Murray Math, I can give you a trading Murray Math strategy in one of our next webinars. Because I was, a couple of years ago, I don't know how it's performing now, but a couple of years ago it was good. So I can also present you with Murray Math trading strategy if you're interested on Murray Math trading. I gave you one Murray Math. It's counter trend strategy. It's very good. If you see the webinar, you will see counter trend strategy. It's very good. But if you want trend strategy with Murray Math, I can also give you in one of our next webinars. So sign up here. Of course, don't miss those weekly recaps. There are many pips to be taken on those weekly recaps, so don't miss it. Okay? Okay, guys, so that would be it if you don't have any questions. I will give you also again introduction to volume spread. It was my webinar, personal, so it should have been done again. I know that you're interested on volume spread analysis systems, so I will try to dig up a good system on volume spread analysis. These are old webinars, and also this is webinar you should pay attention to. Let me find it here. If you're particularly interested on trading, go also with Chris, who will explain you about trend line trading. And of course, this is very important. Forex pair correlations and obscure exotic crosses. I will tell you about correlations, so you will know the proper things about pairs moving in same or in counter direction, and I will give you a few things about exotic crosses and why you should not trade it particularly. So also sign up for this. Many interesting topics and many good things to come. Okay? Again, Murray Math analysis, Murray Math strategy will be given. Okay? So guys, thank you for attending the webinar. Sign up for new webinars. Those are setups which I'm looking at personally, and I hope that some of these setups will be very soon, but now I'm paying attention to this, and I probably will take this setup now. So thank you very much, guys, for listening, and talk to you very soon. Many green pips to you. Cheers.